How to back up your important files. Now you will learn how to back up your computer files. It is another important step for computer safety. Have you lost any important documents, photos or other files? Imagine what would happen if your computer suddenly stopped working. It may be possible to repair your computer, but your files may be lost forever. Luckily, you can prevent this by creating backup copies of all of your files or just the important ones on an external hard disk drive or an online backup service. External hard disk drives. To keep your files safe, you can purchase an external hard disk drive and copy the content of your computer on it. The initial backup could take several hours. Follow-up backup should be conducted on a regular basis, but it may not take long because the drive will only need to copy your most recent files. Online backup services. You can also back up your files to one of the online backup services like Google Drive, Backblaze, Carbonite, Dropbox, etc., from where your files will always be easily accessible to you. The amount of storage space provided by these websites varies, and you may have to pay a monthly or yearly fee for adequate storage. One drawback of online backup services is that the initial backup can be slow and may even take days to upload if you have a large amount of data. However, subsequent backups may not take as long. Other maintenance techniques. To keep your computer running smoothly, it is important to keep files and folders uncluttered. Cluttered or unorganized folders make it more difficult to find the files you need. Additionally, unwanted files can eventually fill up your hard disk drive, which will make your computer slower and more difficult to use. There are a few things that you can do to delete unwanted files and improve your computer's performance. Delete files. If you have unwanted files, you can delete them manually and move them into the recycle bin. Then empty the recycle bin. Disk defragmenter. Windows includes a disk defragmenter program in the control panel. It scans the files of your hard disk drive and rearranges them to free up space if your computer is working slowly. Running disk defragmenter can help to speed it up. Disk cleanup. Windows also includes a disk cleanup program in the control panel. It scans your computer for temporary files and other files that can be deleted. You can then delete the files to free up space on your hard disk drive. Malware. Malware is a malicious software. It refers to software programs designed to damage or carry out other unwanted actions on a computer system. In Spanish, mal is a prefix that means bad, making the term badware, which is a good way to remember it. The different types of malware are virus, worm, Trojan horse, spyware, zombies, ransomware, rootkit, and backdoor. Virus. Computer viruses are similar to their biological counterparts because they are capable of self-replication. The prime motive of a virus is not to cause damage but to clone itself onto another host so that it can spread further. If a virus causes damage, it is more likely to be detected, and for this reason, virus authors employ stealth techniques to keep it unnoticed. A good virus has very small footprint and can remain undetected for a long time. Worms. Worms are very similar to viruses in many ways. The biggest difference between a worm and a virus is that worms are aware if the system is connected to a network. A virus finds it very easy to replicate itself amongst files on the same computer. However, it has a hard time jumping from one computer to another. A worm overcomes this computer-to-computer hurdle by seeking new hosts on the network and attempting to infect them. Trojan horses. The purpose of a Trojan horse is to conceal itself inside the software that seems legitimate. When the software is installed on the system, the Trojan gets activated and infects the host system. Spyware. The primary function of spyware is to snoop on a user's activity and send back the information it gathers to a hacker. Spyware does not have any infection mechanisms. It is usually dropped by Trojans and also by viruses and worms. Once dropped, it installs itself on the victim's computer and sits there silently to avoid detection. Zombie. A zombie works in a similar way as spyware do. Although the infection mechanisms remain the same, a zombie does not usually collect information from the computer. Instead, it just sits there waiting for commands from the hacker. At times, hackers can infect tens of thousands of computers, turning them into zombie machines. Ransomware. Ransom is the money demanded to release the hostage kidnapped for the purpose. Similarly, ransomware is malicious software used to kidnap the data of the host system by encrypting it. The victim of the host system has to pay a huge amount of money to the attacker to get back access to data. Rootkits. Rootkit is a malware that gains administrator access to the host system. Once the attacker gains access to the system, the rootkit gets hidden but retains special access to the system. The detection of rootkit is difficult, as having special access to the system, it bypasses the tracking software. Backdoor. Backdoor is a type of malicious software which enters into the computer through bundled with other software or files. It is used to gain remote access to the host computer. Antivirus. An antivirus program is a software which can detect the presence of a virus on a computer and remove the virus. Eradicating a virus is the term used for cleaning a computer. There are several methods of eradication. Removing the code in the infected file which corresponds to a virus. Removing the infected file. Quarantining the infected file, which involves moving it to a location where it cannot be run. Inform the user about the presence of the malware and the action that has been taken. Separate all the infected files and applications so that the infection cannot spread further. Some well-known antivirus programs are Norton, AVG, McAfee, Symantec, SmartDoc, Kaspersky, etc. Firewall. The term firewall originally referred to a wall intended to confine a fire or potential fire within a building. In computer, a firewall is a software or hardware-based network security system that controls the incoming and outgoing network traffic based on applied rule set. A firewall acts like a gatekeeper and prevents unauthorized access to a computer network. It inspects every data packet that arrives at a network and decides on the basis of a set of predefined rules whether to pass or not. Firewall establishes a barrier between a trusted, secure internal network and another network, for example, the Internet, that is not assumed to be secure and trusted.